Come, let me get you some.
Yo, 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 what's going on, people? Mundo in the house. This is Saber Talk Sunday. How is everybody doing this fabulous Sunday? And it is cold here in Corpus. Now, hang on, guys. One of the things I did forget to do today, and I am bad. Jim! 2 minutes early? Yeah, I know, dude. I'm gonna step out of the screen for a second because I gotta grab me a beer, man. And it is cold here in Corpus today. It is 40 degrees outside right now, and I'm drinking a cold beer, right? Go figure. That's a Texan for you, my friend. I tell you, I'd be wearing shorts right now, but I'm in the garage. It makes it a little bit colder too, so. Cheers, guys. It's always big here in Texas, man. Can't say for anything else, right? Oh my gosh. How you guys doing, man? I hope you guys had an awesome Thanksgiving. I had a great Thanksgiving. My kids were here and my all my family were. So that's great, man. Hey, speaking of, oh my gosh, too many things falling all over the place here. That's what you get when you're in the garage. So tonight I got a few new fonts from Mountain Sabers, and I sent him the link already, and hopefully he'll come on tonight. Yeah, um, and we'll see what happens. Some of the fonts, and it could. I mean, I know it's more or less my fault because I should have tested them before I even came on, and I didn't because I had a honey-do list, and sometimes when you're in the middle of doing something, you got that honey to do list, man. It's a Washington State thing too. 28 degrees to drink a cold beverage. Hell yeah, man! Hey, Washington State. My brother-in-law is over there, man. He lives over there. Um, he moved over there a couple of years ago, so that's pretty cool, man. That's where you're at, Jim. Washington State. That's where he's at, man. Anyhow, Charlie, he's all laughing. How's your workout, Charlie? Are you doing a good workout this evening, man? If it's nice and cool, man, you won't be able to sweat much, but I tell you what, you'll get a hell of a workout just the same. Me, it kills me when it's hot because when it's hot, I can't do crap, man. But when it's cold, I'm like Superman. And I tell you, um, so tonight, and let me see, I've got my laptop here, and I didn't get on with the laptop as far as other pictures and stuff like that. But the reason why I brought the laptop out here was because I need to check on some things. Let's see here. And I'm going to get a list of sound fonts that I have. Okay, so on the Saber that I have tonight. Hey, let's see if it's here we go.
Hey,
Hey, you there, buddy?
yeah, man,
Hey, it's
I'm there.
yes, sir.
I had, I
We're
guess I
good
had
to
to
go.
refresh
It's
the
man.
page.
Yeah, Mountain Sabers is here, everybody.
What's up?
James, man. All right. We
Super
have
glad to
got
be
the
back,
party
man.
going.
Yeah, man.
Man, man. And dude,
Super glad to be back.
I am so loving that new intro though too, man. I'm still waiting for the response from those people so I can get that one spaces for the outro,
Yeah,
right?
that'd be great, man.
And then flip flop them, man. But I haven't heard anything from them, so I might have to
Hmm,
just re-email them and see what's going on.
gotcha.
So, um, yeah, man, I am so excited. I tested a little bit of the fonts. I hadn't
Oh,
tested them
cool.
all the way. I hadn't tested them all the way, so we're gonna see what happens. It might be a little, maybe something missing, maybe not. I don't know. Like I said, I just did real quick. They were on there. They got them on there. Don't know if everything made it on there. I
If
well because I did put some
I would have known you were
Jada
gonna do that
Lauren.
today. if I would have known you were going to do that today, I would have helped you through it, a little bit more if you weren't sure what to put on there from my stuff. So, but I'm
Oh
glad you
no,
got
no.
it.
See, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, because we can do that for another show. You
Oh
see?
yeah,
So we're all we're doing, we're gonna introduce the fonts and stuff like that.
that's cool.
And because there are some, I have a very long list on this SD card right here. I think I got about let's see, I got about 34 fonts on here right now. And
Nice.
a couple of them are not working right. So I'm trying to figure out um, why they're not working the way they should.
Hmm.
And it's either some of the um, oh gosh, my gosh. Some of the things are not working correctly as far as, the quotes from certain things, or maybe that it just skips it altogether, even though I have them labeled the way they're supposed to be labeled.
Hmm.
I'm not sure exactly what's going on in there. It could be just something as simple as a folder that's just not right.
Or the
So I have
formatting.
to yeah. And then again, it could be my SD card as well. Maybe I need a new SD card. Um or it's telling me, maybe because everything else works on there. It's just like three or four of them that are just getting skipped. But for the most part, almost all of them work.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, and some of them did work. And after putting these in these other two fonts, I think maybe I changed something up and I didn't realize that I did change something up and disrupted something.
Sure thing.
So I have to go through that. And then again, like I said, maybe we have time tonight, maybe we don't. Who knows? We'll see what happens, right?
Yeah.
So let me see here. The SD card is on the Warlock.
All right.
So I've got that. Let me make sure that I've got a blade around here. And so for those of you who don't know, that I've got three new fonts from Mountain Sabers. Okay, I got the Avenger, I got the let's see here, the Gigawatt, and it was the Norman Goblin.
Oh, Norman G. Yeah.
Norman G. If you're a
Yeah.
Spider-Man enthusiast, you gotta get this sound font, man. I tell you. I
You know
tell
what
you
happened
what.
was that I had complications with the website a while back, and finally got it all fixed up, but my Norman G font disappeared, and I had no idea for a longest time. Everybody was emailing me, "Hey, where's that font?" And I'm like, "You're kidding me, it's not on there?" And they're like, "Nope." And I'm like, "Oh, well, that's just not going to be good." So I wound up re-getting it back up and booted back up to the website. Yeah, I
Well,
had no
I
idea at
tell
the
you,
time.
I really found it fascinating, because with me, I like Spider-Man, of course, and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah.
I don't collect all of the comics. I do have quite a few comics of Spider-Man, because most of my favorite characters really belong to the Marvel universe, which is like Wolverine is my dude. I mean, X-Men and Wolverine. I go all the way with that
Oh
shit.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Now, I mean, I am. Did you watch the Wolverine and Deadpool movie?
Haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers for me.
I'm not.
I've seen the
I'm
commercials, but I haven't seen it yet. I do want to see it though.
okay. I am not going to spoil it for you, but I am going to tell you. You might want to do a couple of fonts on that thing, on that after you watch it. I'm telling you, man. You're gonna. You would have so much fun making one, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Charlie. Yeah, Charlie. Norman G, buddy. So, I was having so much fun though. I spent most of the day though trying to get some of my sound fonts um put into a proper list because in my laptop I have my sound fonts all over the place, right? I don't have them labeled or anything like that, and I'm thinking to myself, I need to get organized with my fonts because I grab them, I download them, and I put them in there, and I don't even put them in their proper folders. So this afternoon, I went and I put Mountain Sabers, I put Jada Lorian, I put all these font folders from the different sound makers, right? And started to proceed to put their fonts into each perspective folder. And yeah, it took me a little while because there were some fonts that weren't even labeled. So I'm all like, what the hell are they? I had to go back and just kind of research what they were and everything like that, right? And and so it was like, man, let's go ahead and put he these on, this on, this on. And there was some fonts that I had even no idea that I had like years ago getting um for instance the Dune font. I was like, oh
Oh
my
yeah,
God,
that's an old
when did
one.
I get that? Yeah, I'm all like, when did I get that? And the JKDF font. I don't even know what that is, man.
Is that from me or is that from someone else?
I'm not
JKDF.
sure. Like I said, I
JKDF.
still have to figure
I don't know.
JKDF. I'll have to look that up and see.
Yeah, look
You know
that
what?
up.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
it's not. I know it doesn't sound familiar to me from my collection, but the Dune one is
Let me
definitely
see.
from my collection. Or if there's a remake out there,
Let's
I don't know, or a
see.
different style. I
Yeah,
went
I need
classic
to
and I
take.
went old school and classic back a few years ago. When I first started doing them, and I just took my
Right.
favorites. You know.
hmm What is your most favorite font that you have that you really enjoy over and over again?
That's a good question. I don't know. I would probably have to say, well, there's got to be a few of them. I like Angelic Plasma. Um,
That's a good one.
that's one of my that's and Dark Sith Red. The combination of those are really great. Any ones that I have, basically created from scratch and stuff like that.
hmm
Like really dead scratch, like starting on a piece of paper and going, okay, what sound do I want? So um, those are the ones that I really liked. And plus, I made actually music tracks with those. So those are even, to me more special because I actually created the music tracks. Because as you know, I'm a musician too for 30 some odd
hmm
years. So, and I love to create score. I score, I create, all those kind of things. So that on top of the sound fonts with an entire package is probably my favorites.
That's funny. That's cool, man. That is absolutely cool. Charlie over here, he wants eventually a font that's gonna do "You'll shoot your eye out, kid" from A Christmas Story.
I was just talking about the Christmas Story with somebody the other day. Yeah, and actually, I think I posted it on my private page or something about you're gonna shoot your eye out, kid, and then they had this really funny joke about it. The kids of modern times and old times and all that stuff. It was really great though, but that's a classic. That's a
I
classic.
I can picture it in my head right now with the saber sounds. You hear that and the laser blast, man. You'll have that bing bing with
Oh
the
yeah.
BB hitting them.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God!
You can
I
go wild
triple
with that
dog dare you.
stuff.
Look at that, Jim's all like, see, dude, you getting a new font right here, man.
Ah,
James is gonna take the art. James gonna make it happen.
I'll make it happen,
Watch
man.
out.
I'm not scared. I'll do it.
I know you can do it, man. I know you'll be able to do it.
I enjoy that stuff, man. It's so much fun to do, man. I mean, that's, music is my forte, but doing the sound fonts and stuff is just a bonus for me. You know, I love creating
Hmm.
and just piecing things together and making it whole and having everybody enjoy it, which is, you know, a big plus, you know.
See and I think that's important right there for sound fonts, that people should enjoy what they get. I mean, if you're getting something just to get it and have it because you just gotta have it, I think that the reality is, why get it if you're not going to use it as much? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If it's
yeah.
just if it's going to sit there, if you're going to have it on your saber, but you're going to use your saber and then you're going to put certain fonts on there and use them over and over and over and over again, and then you have the certain fonts that are on there but you don't use them at all, then why get them and why put them on there? You know,
Yeah.
for the people that really decide, hey, uh, Jim, oh my God.
Well, I
Um,
think I think
for
there
the
are a lot of people out there that, you know, like you were talking about, categorizing their favorites to their least used, or vice versa. You never know. Depends on their mood. If they're out there
Mhm.
at a show or they're Comic Con or something, they want to show off something, one of their favorites. You know, I mean, there's a lot of makers out there, including myself, that, you know, have excellent work done. You know, and um, you know, I
Mhm.
think it's in the eye of the beholder, I guess. You know, it's what they want. You know, if the saber is going to be
It,
on a shelf, you know, with 30 fonts sitting on it, it's not going to do anybody good, including the owner. So, you know, I would hope and I would love to see them always being used. You know.
right, exactly. I mean, that to me, fonts, the board is really nothing without the fonts. I mean, because the board, I mean, you put power to it, you'll have is what? Laser blast, and that's it. You won't have anything
Well,
else, pretty much.
there's nothing on the
You know,
board. You know, you have to program it all. It's zippity doo
yeah.
dah nothing. You know, without sound, it's just it's an integrated circuit. That's it.
That's it, man. So I believe that the sound fonts are basically the soul of a saber.
Oh yeah.
When you utilize certain fonts on here, you know, whether whether you're watching a specific movie and you've got specific fonts for that movie on your saber, right? On top of um enjoying what you have, I think the joy factor is just immensely increased due to the fact that you are participating in that universe. You feel yourself there practically, right?
Yes. Yes.
And Jim says, "Yeah, you're right, Jim. I mean, without sound, it's just a flashlight, glorified flashlight,
Basically, yeah. And sometimes it doesn't even light up without programming.
right?" And so when you have a good amount of fonts and you have to go through all of these different fonts just to get to what you want. I mean, it kind of diminishes a little bit, but at the same time, it also peaks like, oh, I forgot about that.
Mm.
Right? It's kind of like
Yeah.
discovery sometimes because you utilize so many fonts that you forget about the others as well. So I'm not dogging. If anybody takes it this way, and I do apologize, and I'm not trying to dog anything at all as far as fonts going. Why get in certain fonts if you don't utilize them? What I'm trying to get at is that for every experience that you have with the lightsaber, there are certain fonts to get, and each saber is so unique as well as its fonts that I believe that you can have a greater experience with certain fonts and certain sabers. Like here, the warlock. This is almost like my movies '80s type. You know sword and sorcery type saber right here. So anything goes on here is kind of cool, right?
Yeah,
But
never named said too that he matches his fonts to a particular saber because he believes that it should match the personal saber, which I completely agree
mhm.
on. You know, there are canon sabers like, you know, you take the Graflex. What do you expect to be on this? Luke. You know, this is one of the
Right,
first, this is it. You know, you expect some kind of a Luke saber or Luke quotes or something like that, you know, but then it branches out to, well, you know, maybe I'll put a Vader on here, or maybe I'll put an Obi-Wan on here and just keep them all together so that you have that unique, you know, category of that particular either movie or scene or something like that. And the technology now allows you to do unimaginable things. I mean, unimaginable amount of fonts, sounds, quotes, everything. So it's
right,
limited almost on what you can do.
right. But see, what you won't want to hear on a saber like that is a Super Mario's type stuff. It might be fun. It might be fun,
Yeah,
and like I
yeah,
said,
yeah.
I'm not dogging anything. I'm not dogging anything. It might be fun to hear it on there, right? And it'd be comical, but at the
Sure.
same time, but it takes away from what what that saber really is about. From that universe, it takes away from that universe, and
Yeah,
that's just all. That's just what I'm getting at.
totally.
There's just certain things that can take away from the universe, and in having certain fonts that go off handle, like Jim and I said, certain hilts are for certain fonts,
That's
and
right.
when you have, like you said, you have the Graflex, you expect a Vader, you expect a Luke, you expect an Obi-Wan. I mean, those are expected to be on there, but you wouldn't expect, a Super Mario Brothers or some other font like that, game
You
font.
or my goblin font for that matter too, you know, same
You know,
thing. It's just yeah, it those kind of fonts for me were just additions to the collection. You know, people requested them and I made them. So I do those
but
out of
those are
request.
badass fonts, and
I
those are
love them.
badass
I love
fonts.
them. Well, if
I,
and to be honest with you, thank you for the people who have requested them because without that, you know, I don't always, you know, it's not always in here what I don't always see what everybody wants out there. I'm not always on the in the community 24/7. So I'm either working, doing installs, I'm doing sound fonts, I'm doing something. So
mhm.
when people email me or text me or say, "Hey, you know, is it a possibility that you can make this?" Oh, and by the way, I do custom ones too. So I do a lot of custom fonts. Like if they have a saber that they made and they want a specific sound to match that saber perfectly, I've already done several of those. And those are my top go items that I love to do because I love to create from scratch. You know, I mean, yeah, we can have these all day long, and you know, but it's something special for the owner. You know,
Mhm.
when he gets that package and he puts it on there, it's a whole other world for him, and he can't believe it. So or she can't believe it. You know, um,
Right, absolutely.
pretty cool.
And that is the spice of life, really. When you
Yeah,
create something, as awesome as sound font, whether it be character or not, right? And most of the time it is. Most of the time it is. But out of
yeah,
universe, in certain fonts and certain hilts, I mean, they can make the world go round. I mean, I've seen
yeah,
hilts that you can put anything on there, and oh my God, I mean, it blows it out of the water, you know.
oh yeah.
Um, and then there's like certain fonts that I'm like, oh my God, how did this get made? I want to know, damn it.
Yeah, it's all about personal preference. It's all about either what I like, what the audience likes, what the community likes, what you know. It and if you collab with a lot of people, you're going to be surprised on the outcome because it is amazing. It's just amazing what you can come up with. You know, I have critiqued some custom sound fonts right down to the reverberation or the tone or the key, even, you know, because you're forgetting that these kyber crystals, each color represents a tone and a key. I mean, if you didn't
Hmm.
know that, you know it now. But there are specialty things that I do and I like to follow, that coincides with that. So, whether it be the color and what that color represents, the key, the tone, um, the manipulation of that, especially when you're swinging it around. So
Hmm.
there's a lot of variables. I mean, hundreds of variables.
That is so true, and the
You know?
variations. I mean, unbelievable. Let's see, Jim Rizal. I've been searching on how to make saber fonts, but having the option request is very tempting. And
Yeah.
then,
Oh, I make them. I can make them custom from scratch. I mean, I mean, yes, we have. I have a couple of Lukes and Vaders and things like that. But I dabble
Mhm,
into, like I said before, writing it all down on a piece of paper. Okay, what is your idea? I'm communicating. I have to communicate with the client. I have to listen to what he's telling me, and I have to say, okay, what color, what sound, what are you looking for? And you know what? This could take a day, a week, a month, and sometimes even a little bit close to a year to create something that somebody
mhm,
wants. Because the sounds aren't just right or they're perfect, but I want this and I want that. I mean, I have millions of sounds, in a database that I have here, and I also make them from scratch with different synthesized
mhm.
tones and scopes and things like that. So there's a lot of, like I said, hundreds of variables that can go with it.
And I'm sure the frustration factor grows pretty harshly
No,
sometimes.
no,
No?
I don't get frustrated. I get
No?
creative. No, I don't get
Creative.
frustrated.
So
I
when
get creative.
so when you're stuck at a sound like that you don't like, okay,
Hmm.
you've created this sound. You've
Hmm.
created this sound, and you're like, okay, I'm digging it. And then 2 hours later, you're like, ooh, ooh, okay, no, that's not it. That's
Yeah,
not right. Not just
right.
yet. So
Hmm.
you once you get
But
to
you
that
just said
point,
it though. But you just said it though, 2 hours later, meaning I stepped away from it because that's what
mhm,
sometimes you need to do when you're like listening to music. Let's say you go to a club, you're listening to loud music. My ears are ringing. You go home, you take a break from it
mhm,
for a week. So it's almost just very similar like that. You
mhm,
made the sound, you've been spending hours and hours on that one sound, and it's like, okay, it's time to give your ears a rest. It's not frustration. That's all the part of the creative process. And
you create
anybody
a
who does
function.
make those sound fonts knows exactly what I'm talking about. Or if they make
Yeah.
music, same thing. It's the creative process. So getting frustrated is never going to solve anything. In fact, it's only going to stress you out, and you'll lose your creativity at the same time.
I I I think so. I
Oh
believe
yeah.
that is, 100% on par with anything, man.
Oh yeah,
Um,
and I bet you
I know.
anybody would agree with that because it's very, writing something and creating something and making something. I mean, you started it, right? So you have that
Hmm.
you have that inner feeling like, hey, I know what I want. I hear it in my head.
Hmm.
I just have to get it to that point, and that is the fun part about it. That you
Hmm.
have thousands of sounds to choose from, and you have all day to do it, or you have a week to do it. I mean, when I make them custom, I don't usually like to rush them unless there's like some sort of a really big deadline that's so important that it needs to get done. And actually, I did. There was somebody that was needed a sound font for their they have this a gauntlet. It was a gauntlet with a special. It was like the old Republic sabers, when they had the power pack attached to them. And
Hmm.
there was the belt clip with the cord and everything before they went on to the power source in the saber. So everything had to be precise. Everything had to work like it was old Republic, like it was back in the day. So I thought I had to put my thought process way back there instead of more modern.
Hmm.
And also, I
Wow.
had to go by the basics of the design too, because I had to know everything about this from design,
Hmm.
speakers, sound, what board, and then we started to critique sounds. So when I made the sounds, I kept going back and forth, sending back and forth, sending little samples back
Hmm.
and forth for well over probably well over about 2 weeks, and even that's the greatest creative process when you get feedback going, I like it, I don't like it, add this, do that, and that's my job, you know. So I have to do that.
Hmm.
And once you hear the final product, man, you're like, oh wow, I'm so glad I did that. You know, I'm so glad I listened to him. I'm so glad he listened to me. So it's the creative process.
That is definitely interesting, man. I am down for that creative path because, like I said, that is what makes the world go round. When you hit something that people can feel, it's like nothing else. I mean, it's like turning the saber on after wiring it for the first time on. You know,
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
yeah.
damn.
I know, isn't that the greatest? Like when I first got my saber, and that must have been, well, that was moons ago. But I first turned that thing on because I was blown away, man. I was just like, what? This is crazy. I never even thought that they would even make something like this, you know, like I mean, you saw those plastic toys like when we were all kids, but something like this, I mean,
Oh
and
yeah.
pulling the sound out of this thing the way it is now, it was excellent. So being in the field, I appreciate that because that took a lot of advanced creativeness to get there.
See, and then that also helped me because in terms of when I first started the hobby because of my best friend passing, and I wanted to honor his memory. You know, Roy Boy
Oh, I remember.
would,
I
and
love that.
I'm like, oh man, I tell you, when I first started that, and you know, with me being dyslexic and seeing a lot of things backwards, and that's why I'm such a visual learner because uh see, you know, reading things a lot, you know, it takes a long time for me to read something and really understand it, but at the same time I've had a lot of help, you know, Space Windu, you know, Benji, and you know, all of these guys that put out video after video, tutorial after tutorial, Rob Petkow, Shamin, I mean, all of these guys helped me to accomplish that. And to this day, I never thought that I could accomplish something like that, let alone get the bug of, you know, doing sabers, you know, and even meeting people such as yourself. You know, by nature, I really don't go out and you know, I'm that type of person who goes and I like to make friends no matter where I go, you know, but to me, it's such an honor to have you as a friend, you as a guest, you as a font maker, you know, you as a person in this world that makes the world go round because you give us what we acquire to put on our sabers, you know. And, you know, I am so honored to know people such as you, all of you. And especially, like, I have to really thank Space as well because you know, without Space, we wouldn't be sitting here doing this right now either. He gave me full reins
We
for
much
the,
appreciate that too. Yeah. No,
you know,
he's an
for the
excellent guy.
show.
Yeah, he's an
And
excellent
Reese,
guy.
you know, Reese is such an awesome guy too, man. You know, he is learning so much from Space, and he's doing all of this stuff. KB, dude, love you too, man. Love you too, dude. I mean, you know, it's such an honor to know these people and to be part of the community. And it's so cool
The
that
community is probably the best thing that I've ever joined in my entire life. I have to be honest with you because before this, I never had such vast amount of input and output since I joined the community, and I've been probably in this community about, well, coming on close to 5 years now. I mean, I've loved Star Wars way ahead of that, but you know, just
mhm.
actually starting my business and starting doing the community and tackling some of the new stuff like sound fonts and scoring and music. You know, it's been in the last 5 years now. So my anniversary will probably be coming up, and actually, it's probably going to be February of 2025. So I'm gonna
Oh,
try and do
awesome.
something. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of do something special for that one. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but I want to definitely put something out there to thank the community and show my appreciation for all the support and stuff, because without you guys, I wouldn't be here.
Dude,
you
you,
know,
I
I,
mean,
I
you definitely deserve it, man. I mean, and all of font makers, Juan
oh
Sith, I mean,
yeah, all the
Cyberphonic,
guys, man.
I mean,
Jada
all of
Lorian,
them,
Cyberphonic, Juan Sith, K Sith, all these guys, man.
BK.
They've been doing it a lot longer than I have, and I have total mucho respect for these guys. I've listened to a lot of what they've done. I've seen their demos, I've seen everything, and I have nothing but utter respect for those guys. I'm just part of the pie. You know what I mean? I'm just
Yeah,
another piece of the pie that I just wanted
yeah,
to put
same here.
my little things out there, and the things at my skill level, and my creativity as well, and then just give something else
Hmm.
to the community. The more the merrier. I always say this, the more the merrier. The more stuff that people can
Absolutely.
get, the more stuff that people are interested in, they will go for, whether it's my stuff, Jay's, Chirophonic, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. You can
Hmm.
go there and buy 10, 20 bonds. That doesn't bother me. None of that bothers me. What does bother me is if you don't do it, because you have such great opportunities, you know what I mean, to get something that you really
Hmm.
enjoy, and that's why I love supplying it.
Yeah, I mean, and it's immense joy though too. If you're
Yeah,
that kind of person that lives in that moment and that particular font in that particular universe for that particular movie, you know, yeah, I mean,
yeah,
there's not a feeling like it.
not at all.
And for the newbies that come in and the newbies that are watching this, and I don't, you know, if you come in and you're looking for things, and it doesn't matter how much money you have, okay? You can buy a $4, $5 font, save up your money, buy another $5 font, okay? You can look for the free ones, download the free ones, okay? One of the most important things is try not to, go piracy type stuff. You want all of these free fonts, it, you don't have to go that route. uh, Give these guys what their due credit is, because they work their asses off on making these
Yeah,
fonts. It takes maybe like you said, it may take a day, it may take 2 days, it may take a week, it may take a month, maybe take a year, depending on
yeah,
how involved the particular font is being made.
yeah.
And would you would you go out into the workforce, and would you go work a day without pay? Would you go to a job, do something, and then not get paid for it? No, you wouldn't.
That's
Unless you're getting, government checks or anything like that. But even then, you're still not going to go to a job and not get paid for it. And that's what these guys do. They're
right.
here to provide entertainment for us. They're here to provide our sense of reality to get out of reality, okay? And that's what we're paying them for. And for you to go and get something for nothing, well, you know what, if you want something for nothing, why don't you try making the fonts? Okay, and it won't cost you anything to get a free whatever free program there is to learn how to make these fonts, and make them yourself. That's how you
Yeah,
get them free. You
yeah,
know, I do not have the time to make free fonts myself.
right.
So I am willing to pay guys like him to have fun with these. So I'm telling you, all the new guys, like I said, you wouldn't go out there, you wouldn't do a job without getting paid. It's the same for these guys. And
That's right.
no matter what sound font maker that you go to, yeah, and guess what? I mean, they have sales. Take advantage of Black Friday sales, take advantage of Christmas sales, whatever sales that they're having at that moment. You can go and you can check out their websites or soundfont.com and check out, because there's always sales of sound fonts, whether they
Oh
be
yeah,
old, new, or whatever. take advantage of those sales. Okay, so if you buy one or two, you buy one or two. If you buy 4 or 5, you buy 4 or 5. You know, it just
Yeah.
depends what your budget is. I myself, if I can buy three, I'll buy three. If I have to buy only one, I can only buy one. You
Yeah.
know, that's just the way it goes. You know, that's it.
And
You
I also hey, Chad Osborne's on. How's it going, man?
what
I
up,
also want to
Chad?
say that, yeah. I also and thank you so much, Jeff, for those boards, man. Those classic Profi boards, bro, man. That was the highlight of my year. Believe it or not, I've always wanted those things, man. And I can't thank you enough. I know I'm gonna keep saying it all day long, but thank you, bro. Um, Now, back to what I was going to
Same.
say. We always watch out for each other in the community. Now, I know everybody out there. I know just about all the. I know not everybody personally in the sound font maker industry, but I know that we do watch out for each other, and we make sure that everybody's getting their fair shake, and nobody's taking this and saying, "Hey, I got this font, from him. Do you want to share it? You want it?" And I'm like, well, can't do that, man, because that's their fonts, and it's. But we do have clients, for doing the installs and stuff that will want certain fonts
Hmm.
represented on their sabers, whether it be from myself, Kyberphonic, Jay DeLorean, K-Sith, all those guys, and they supply them on the SD card, so I do not have to do anything,
Hmm.
as far as downloads or anything. I don't really want to do that because that to me is just grabbing the font, and that's it's not something I'm really interested in doing. I love supplying my own, but if somebody wants something on their Saber, I would definitely suggest that you either keep it on the SD card, purchase from the font maker, and then supply it to your installer. You know,
See,
I guess
eventually, oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, that was all I really had to say. I think we just watch out for each other, and we just make sure that everybody's getting their fair share and a fair shake in the community, because it makes us all grow at the same time. If we don't, if
Mhm.
everybody's just, hey, I got this one and I got that one and I got that one, hey, I got this one and this one, it's really a bad situation for everybody. You know what I mean? And we don't want that. None of us to have to be in that situation. Um,
Yeah,
so
absolutely,
I'm
absolutely.
definitely watching out.
And
There's been a lot of scams out there too, by the way. So we got to be careful. I mean, somebody may say something, but it may not be the truth. So I always go to the source and make sure that those things
exactly.
are legit.
Right. See, and that's you got to keep it professional. I mean, you definitely have to keep it
Always,
professional. And
always.
like I said, right now I'm trying to, do a portfolio, and in the long run later on when I hopefully become an installer. But I don't think I'm going to do my installs online. It will be basically, local, so to speak, right?
Which is awesome.
But and so that way I don't have to. The time constraint is my own time, right?
Yes,
And for the people that want it, they're gonna buy it. For the people who don't want it, they're not gonna buy it, and that's okay by me. However, the way I see things is that when they want certain fonts on their sabers, I can give them the list of websites to go and download whatever fonts they want, bring me
that's
the
right.
SD card, and I will upload it and put it on their sabers for them that way.
That's right.
That way it stays professional. The sound font maker gets their money because and the people who bought the sound font will have their sound font automatically. I won't
That's
have
correct.
to say, okay, I downloaded it, but because if I download it, it's mine, and then I give it to them. No, it's not going to work like that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's and a lot of font makers will frown upon stuff like that. So
yeah,
to keep it more
yeah.
professional and everything else, unless I get told otherwise, right?
Right, right.
Unless there is specific instructions from the font maker themselves, I will
That's
be
correct.
doing it that way eventually, and I will keep in close contact with emails and everything with the font maker so that way I could say, hey, did this person go and download your fonts? I need to make sure so that way everything's on the up and up,
That's
and
correct. Yeah.
that way the font maker knows he's getting his money with the specific client that, and I'm able
Well,
to put
that's why I
those
usually
lines in.
say to supply it on the SD card. You know that when you're sending a Saber for me to get installed, you just make sure that you have that located on the SD card if you have the technology. Otherwise I have to either have to contact the font maker, or I have to or they have to contact them to gain the permissions in order for me to download the tags and all that stuff, and then it goes directly onto their Saber, and then that's it. Um,
Hmm.
which has happened in a couple of times, which is no problem. I mean, they got the okay to do it, and it's everything is fine. I don't have a collection of everybody else's fonts. That's not my business. My business is to make sure that they get the install that they want and the fonts that they want on there, and that's it. That's my job. I'm not there to pawn off anybody else's work or anything like that. That's never. I will never ever do that. It's not my intention, and I never had the intention to do that.
Right.
Because it's all on a professional level. We have to work with each other. I mean, that's my basis of this whole thing, is to work with each other and make sure that everybody is having a good time and everybody's doing, their own thing. And that's, and that it makes the community larger, in a sense,
Hmm.
because there's so many. If we keep doing, horrible things and all this other stuff to each other, there's going to be nobody left. And then you're going to wind up with, wah, 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 and it's not going to sound too great. You know what I mean? So we want to keep
Absolutely.
everybody happy, in the community, as far as the font makers are concerned, the installers and all that stuff. So but the customer
Right.
still has a choice. The clients still have a choice of where they want to go, what they want to do, who they want to have it installed by, and what sound fonts they want to buy from. It's completely up to the customer, and I understand that
Hmm.
as a customer, because I have a
Yeah.
collection of purchased, you know Kyberphonic fonts, because he's amazing. I mean, I'm sorry, he's great. I mean, and we're both engineers. He's an engineer. He's got a whole studio, and so did I. Well, I used to have a
Hmm.
really big studio. Now I'm just have a tiny one. You know, but he understands what I would be saying right now, and it's a mutual respect. And I definitely respect those guys, and I respect the clients for respecting their wishes as well. And
That's
it's a
the
big
biggest thing
community.
right there. Respect. I mean, you have to give respect. Absolutely. One of the
Oh,
biggest things in this, in this community is the respect factor. Because if you don't have the respect factor for anybody's work and anybody's things, you know, and the reason why I say this is because, like I said, when I first started this hobby, I was one of those people that I don't give a fuck. I that this that. I never understood what it took, what people went through until I started wiring and making my own lightsabers. What it took to do all of that type of stuff, to put the fonts on there, to do the wiring, to do the work, to make the blades, you know, all of that work. I never understood why they were so expensive, what the problem was. I mean, why would they not come down on some of their, on something like this? And until I started installing myself, it
well,
really opened my eyes. It really opened my eyes because when you start seeing the cost that each one of these installers have to do, what they have to order, what they have, if they don't have a certain thing, then they got to wait for this, they got to wait for that. The time constraints, people want this, they want that at a certain specific time. When we were going through the COVID bit and the shortage of chips and everything like that, you
oh
had
wow,
to
yeah.
wait.
And we
You
didn't have
had
to
to
wait
wait for
long,
things.
by the way. We didn't have to wait long.
No.
They were really, really good at that, man. They popped them out like like bullets out of a gun, man. Because they knew that we were waiting for them, and they really worked overtime, and they really got them going. All the sellers that were able to stock them back in, and we were super happy. You know, we probably most of ours, you know, had a lot of people just, you know, waiting in the wings, you know, for these things to come in, but they worked their butts off, and that's another thing too. All the suppliers, you know, I mean, big shout out to all of them, because, you know, without them, guess what? You wouldn't have sound, you wouldn't have speakers, you wouldn't have a soundboard, you wouldn't have anything. You know, I mean, we'd be sitting here going,
Absolutely.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know if I could do this. I don't know. String blades are kind of outdated. I don't think you could duel with the string blade. You know, it's all those light bulbs and stuff. You know, although I'd
Anthony
love to
still loves
see
to do
somebody
that.
try, but yeah. Well, to be honest with you, I still have string blades laying around from all the old, you know, Force Effects things. You never know what you're going to use them for. So I've kept everything. You know, I have a whole entourage worth of parts and stuff, but you know, ordering parts is it's like just you said, it's no joke. You know, I mean, what we go through on a daily basis to wait, you know, for parts and things like that, so we can make sure that you're getting the absolute best product when it leaves here. You know, that's what I think every installer or every sound font maker is, you know, is thinking at the same time. You know, we want to get you that product that you like and enjoy, and we don't want it to fail. We want you to open it up in the morning, like say on Christmas Day, and you turn that thing on and you're going to enjoy it for hours. I mean, if it's, you know, if it's humanly possible now with the battery, you know, supplies that we get now. So it's been really great.
Oh yeah, it really has. Did you read it?
Yes, I did. Yeah. And you know, not only that, but you know, I was not only am I, you know, a musician for the longest time, probably about, well, since probably I was 6 years old, but more of on the professional level, about 30 years. Electronics was my big thing. Now, I never started realizing that this was, you know, I soldered when I was, you know, 14 years old, watching my brother, because my brother was into electronics, and he still is. He, you know, he works for big companies and stuff. So, I took a liking to that. You know, I love fixing things. That's my thing. You know, if you know anything about me, you'll know that I'm a fix-it person. I just love to get my hands on something and work on it and say, oh, you know, this bubble card just doesn't stay in here. How am I going to make it stay without glue, without tape, without anything? You know, oh, okay, just turn this little knob right here and it'll tighten up the card. You know, I love fixing things. So it turned me on to really doing these installs, because not only do I enjoy it, but you know, I'm able to, you know, make a living and to give people what they want. And I go above and beyond. I just love to, you know, create new things. You probably saw a post of mine. I don't mess around. I love to go above and beyond. I don't like to hinder anybody or anything or any creation whatsoever, because that's what we need. If somebody designs something that we can use as installers or something like that, you damn well bet I'm going to support them, you know, because we want more of that, you know, and also as a customer, I want that too, you know.
Absolutely. There is so much inspiration around too. You know, a lot of people I think just kind of like fail to look around, right? Hey, what's up, John? Collector's Outpost is here. All is
Hey,
well, buddy.
cool.
I saw the Gunji vid, man. Pretty cool, dude. Yeah, your last bid, was that your last bid for the year
Wow.
on the Sabers? We're talking about sound fonts. As a matter of fact, I bought 3 sound fonts from James here, and we're gonna check them out here pretty shortly, dude.
Fun.
I've got the Norman G. I've got the Avenger and the what is it? The doo, 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 doo. Oops, my laptop went out. What was it?
Yeah.
Let's see here. We're talking about all this other stuff. I completely.
Yeah, but
Let's
that's
see.
all
My
part of
list
it,
is
you know. It leads up to this very thing, you know what I mean? It leads up to the enjoyment of it, you know, really
yeah,
does.
absolutely. So we got the Gigawatt, we got the Avenger, and we got the Norman G font. So let's kind of get into it here a little bit here.
All
Let's
right.
see.
Hey, is that the chassis that you've been working on, or is that just part of that one?
No, this is
That
just
wasn't.
part of this one. As a matter, well, you know what? Before I turn on the Saber, let's take a
Yeah,
look at the chassis that I've been working on.
yeah, that's the
And
one I
you
want to see
remember,
because I
okay,
do.
so
Oh my god,
so
I
let
can
me
see it
put this.
already. You really did a lot of work.
So here we go, buddy.
Oh man, dude, dude. I
And
don't believe.
you
Look at
know,
that chamber, man.
actually, and
You
you know, like I said, the
you did a lot of work.
you know, I have to thank Rich, man, because Rich Sangello, he's the one that printed this, right? And he came straight
Yeah, I
black,
remember. Actually, the last
and
time I saw it, it was just about all black. So you've been on that
yeah,
thing.
I've been on it, man, and I've been just kind of like, and I have to laugh at myself, right? Because the gold on here is the rub and buff, right?
Yeah,
And I wanted to make sure, it looked worn out. And
it does look worn out. I love the
the
half chamber,
scratch.
man.
Yeah, Rich did an amazing job, dude.
I
An
love
amazing
doing
job.
half chambers and half board, because sometimes it's so cool just to do that. You see a lot of that in some of my builds too, but that's real. And I love that crystal. That crystals. I love doing real crystals too. As a matter of fact, I almost all 90% of my builds I put real crystals in because there's just nothing like it.
Right? There's just nothing like it. Now you're gonna laugh at me because I have to laugh at myself. I said, "Damn it, Mundo! You know what you just did? You know what you just painted? You painted the freaking Duracell battery, man. Check this out.
Good. That, that, that's
Look
but
at
that's
that.
yeah, but that's so cool though, man. Yeah, I love
Look
the
how close
redstone
that
too.
is.
You're
Look
right.
how
The colors
close
are
that
really
is.
close. Wow. You know what? You could get that battery wrap. That battery wrap would be amazing to match all that. They have the exact
I have
material.
one.
You do good.
I
Then
have
that's
a
what I
man.
thought. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and for those who don't know, man, I went with antique copper and antique gold. Okay, and again, I did it to the point, and I sanded, I sanded it quite a bit before I painted it, and I didn't sand it so much with sandpaper. I sanded, and you're gonna laugh at this too,
The file.
with a file.
You
I
betcha.
sanded all of it with a file.
Yes, sir.
So my whole train of thought was I could get it really smooth, right? But at the same time, and I had thought in the last vid that I did was filler or no filler, right?
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself that I'm gonna put filler on here. I'm gonna make it look super smooth. I'm gonna make it look, no lines and this and that. But I started thinking to myself, my chassis that I'm painting might start looking like all the rest of them that are super smooth, right?
Hmm.
So let me do it this way. And
Good point.
this way, it is my way of doing my, you know, my chassis, because it's not, I have all the imperfections on here, and I know it's instead of being like, quite a few others that are solid. I mean, don't get me wrong, they do amazing work. And I
Right.
started
Yeah.
thinking to myself, if I start doing that, then I might be copying somebody else, in copying somebody else, you really don't want to do that. So in order for me to really be true to myself as well as Rich and everything else, um, let me go ahead and keep the imperfections into it, because then I know it's really mine. You know, it's
Yes.
not smooth, but metal, when it's scratched, when it's dinged, when it gets rubbed, when it gets old, when it gets worn out, that is the work I was looking for, and I think I
Yeah.
pretty much accomplished it.
I
You know,
think you did great, man. I mean,
so
I didn't even last time I saw that thing, it was all black plastic and you were just starting to file it. So that was a while ago and that looks great, man. I like everything about it. I really do. I really I know I'm super digging the half chassis because that's like one of my things that I like to do, you know, on those very limited space ones that you can't get one in there, but you know you want to squeeze one in because they really desperately want a crystal chamber. So you know that stuff, you know, to me I love seeing that. That's great, man.
right. Thanks,
I like the
KB.
gold, and I
I
also
really
like the
appreciate
red.
it.
Is that a copper?
Yeah, it's antique copper, man.
Yeah, that's great. And it's like you know, from where the camera looks, it looks like flip flop paint.
Flip
It
flop.
really does. The way the light shine. Yeah, the way the light shines on it, you could see it
See,
has
oh
like gold
wow.
and red traces just by when you move it. It's pretty damn cool. I love that. Oh, there it
So
is. Okay,
here's yeah.
there
This
it
is the
is.
one I did. That's
Yeah,
you get this at Walmart, man.
yeah, yeah. I have that kit.
So it
I
is.
have the whole kit. It's amazing. The metallic paints are great for that.
Oh, absolutely, man. I and the wife almost took this one away from me. I'm all like, no, like you got a whole box full, man. Leave mine alone. Matter of fact, I
That's
should be
too funny.
borrowing from yours, right? I said I'm gonna raid your box, Mama, and look for some paints.
That's so
she's got
awesome.
a whole she's got a whole closet full of paints, dude. I'm like, my
That's so
God.
great.
I
Yeah.
so but yeah, dude, and so with
Very
painting that
good.
now I can actually start the wiring process, you know. So I actually already have the buttons wired up right here.
Oh,
So this is
sweet,
gonna
man.
be
Sweet.
so if you can see,
Oh, yeah,
um,
those are great. Yeah, those are the
let's
button
see.
cards. I love those. Those are really great. It's nice to have them all
So
soldered on and done. Yeah, that's nice.
and that's just custom right there, right? I took old card there, you know, and
Oh,
just
you did the board?
yeah,
Oh, man. That
yeah,
looks
it was just a
it looks
cheapy
pro, dude. That's pro right there,
dude.
man. That's pro right there, man. See, that's mucho respect, man. I love that.
So actually, see, I'm gonna make another one out of something like this.
Oh,
I'm gonna take
that's what you do. Oh, and I got you. That's what we were talking
so
about the last time, saving all those boards, right?
yeah. So like I said, I went onto Amazon and I bought a bunch of the boards like this
Yeah.
stuff,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I cut them up and I make my clamp cards out of these too, you know,
Yeah.
and I have some other specific boards that I utilize to make my clamp cards with as well. And
Yep.
that picture that I showed you with that other saber that I plan on making for my
Yeah.
cousin, right
Yes.
now we're still talking about design stuff, but once we get it all worked out with the design, and then I let him know how much it is, uh, once I get all the pieces and parts like that, I'll probably send you the deal for the chassis for it, man,
Oh,
and we'll
sure.
go from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
design
we'll
something
have a little
really
fun.
cool, you and I, man. I want to bounce back ideas with you, man.
Oh
For
yeah.
sure. I mean, what I just saw, man, that's pretty cool. I love the card. I love when you did the buttons on that card. That blew me away right there. I honestly, I thought that was bought because that's how great it looks when you had
Oh
the
no,
other.
yeah, no.
You know, no, but that's awesome though because that shows that's
Let's see.
classy, man. I love that.
Oh yeah,
And
I've
it's
got
gonna
like
fit
about
right. It's gonna
five or
fit right
six
into
that I
your
made.
little chassis too. It's gonna fit right into the space, which is awesome.
Oh, it took me like 3 hours to get that just right, man. Just
I
sanding
bet.
it alone was just
I
like
bet.
crazy.
Tactiles are really
So
cool.
now the tactiles on there, because they're the short buttons,
Yep.
I thought about using the longer buttons, right? But they weren't gonna work. So
No.
if you I don't know if you can see that, but
Yeah, that's the
that
longer
button
one.
right there, it's a longer one. it wasn't going to
Yeah.
work the way I thought it was going to, because taking the chassis out, this would have interfered with taking the chassis out, because I
Oh,
want it
sure.
kind of, you know, um, or taking the bottom half of it off, right? Because now I got to come up with some a way to do magnets on the little buttons, and then do some kind of little plungers with magnets. So when I put the clamp card and the plungers and the magnets,
Yes.
touch each other like this. So I'll have that connection right there. I still got to figure out how I'm going to work that out, but
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards a few different things here and there.
Yeah.
But
Plungers shouldn't be a problem. Plungers shouldn't be a problem either if we print them out, or we can actually design them from scratch, and we can cut some nice brass ones or something to put in there, and make them almost identical. So all you have to do is you put them in through the inside of the hilt, and then
mhm.
usually what we use is either a little bit of Captain tape, or we can actually, like you said, do some sort of a magnetic deal where they stay in place, either through the clamp card box or something like that.
Well, that's the idea, is to have the plungers kind of stick out, going out
Yeah.
like this with the little
Yeah.
magnets. And
Yeah.
so when I put the clamp card, uh, let me see. Do I have a low profile box around? It's probably put up in my box right now. But anyway, with the low profile, it's going to go on to a low profile box one from TCSS. So what's going
Nice.
to happen is it'll lay on in that box like this, right?
Yes.
It'll lay in the box, but down here it'll have the plungers with the magnets. So the
Yes.
magnets will be on the plungers, and what do I do with it? Jesus, I tell you, I'm always losing things. And the magnets on here, they will connect. The magnets will, attract to each other and hold it in
Mm.
place just like that.
Yeah,
That
that's nice.
way, I can take this off anytime I want to. If I need to
Yeah,
pull the
right.
chassis out, I won't have any interference with that. You see? And
Exactly.
then the magnets will be strong enough to hold this down, and it won't fall off the box one at any time.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's the plan.
Nice. Nice.
That
Well,
is
we'll
the
get on
plan.
that, man. That's for sure, man. I can't wait to do that with you. That'd be awesome to design something cool. That'd be great.
All right, so let's put the battery in and let's see what I did
Yeah,
for
let's
your
check
three
that out,
swans here.
man.
Okay, that's a good sound.
Oh, and Chet was saying you should check out my V'ger sound font, which was also that's the Star Trek based font, which was really cool.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I don't know if there is any other um, Star Trek fonts, and I think it would be kind of cool to make a Star Trek saber.
Yeah,
I know,
it would
I
be.
know it's kind of, I know it's kind of, off the wall bit, because in Star Trek there is no
Well,
John. He's a
there's
Star Trek
there
font.
there was an Iron Man. There was an Iron Man saber out there. There's a
Oh yeah,
Mandalorian saber out there. There's all kinds out there. So
there's a
I wouldn't
He-Man
doubt if
saber.
somebody
Flash.
would want to do that.
Let's see here. Let me see.
The Dayblade.
Found
Is that red
menu.
Dayblade?
You've spun your last web, Spider-Man.
Okay, here's the Norman G. Let's check it out.
I love this one.
I might need to up the volume on that a little bit. Oh, you can see it. Just
I could see it. Yeah.
Can everybody hear that?
I can hear it a little bit.
Let's see here. Oh, dude, that is freaking cool. The mic is having trouble picking it up, BK. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to keep it as close to my ear as possible, man. It's a little low right here, but
I think is the camera the one that has the mic running?
no, it's my
Oh,
ear pods.
your earpiece. I see.
Hmm. You
Yeah,
can
there's
probably
like
hear it a
all
little bit
different
better.
kinds of. Yeah, there's all different kinds of sounds with that one too. You know, it's a plethora of all kinds of different things. Yeah, there it sounds good.
See it's a little low on
Oh, it's on your other
the
side.
flash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
it's a
side
little
of the
low on the left
microphone.
side.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Nope. It keeps going to that one.
Yeah, it should switch if you have it set up that way. It should switch off.
I probably need to set it up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like I said. Oh, we missed it. It was a little low, and it was the one where he was saying, follow that cold chills down your spine.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
The lock, yeah.
That is crazy. That is nuts, man. All right. I still have a little work to do on this.
Yeah,
Do a little
it's pretty
setup.
cool, man. It's a lot of fun, those things. I love that. And he's such a
Oh,
great actor too, man. It's just
oh, William Defoe. Oh yeah, my
what's the
God.
I
It's
think they're using that's
the
the
Golden
Harvest.
Harvest. Yeah, it's the Golden Harvest board. But man, wait, John. Eventually, I'm gonna put this onto the CFX as well. So later on, when I do the balance saber, which is what you were seeing the chassis for, right? This is going to go into the balance, and this one is going to have the CFX. So everything that's in the Golden Harvest here on this saber right here is going in the CFX too. So,
Yeah.
it's going to yes, KB, not a Golden Harvest 4, it's a Golden Harvest 3, but I'm hoping that for Christmas I am going to get a Golden Harvest 4, and I will eventually make I might undo this one for the Golden Harvest 4. I'm not sure
Yeah,
yet because
I just got the G4 and I'm just waiting to put it in something because I have like tons of empties, but I think it's it's a very special board, so I want it to go in something special. You know, it's got a lot of features and they just recently posted that they're doing a firmware update very soon. To update it again because they have a lot of things that they're working on, and it's a great board, man. GHV3 was a go-to of mine. It still is a go-to of mine for a lot of my hilts, especially my mag lightsabers. I mean, most of my mag lightsabers that I do have the GHV3s, with all the sound fonts preloaded.
oh
Sounds
yeah.
great.
And John, I can't wait to see your vids on the G4, man. I
Yeah.
really can't, man. I love all your videos, dude. I really do, man. I mean, it's so awesome, dude. Um, you really outdo yourself every time you do a video, and especially I like all the little figurines that you put out too. I still got to get some, dude. I'm still trying to hold out for. I need a Luke and a Vader so that I can put them on display. I'm saving up for those,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, KB Production said, "Is there any programming involved with the GH like there is with Profi?" Well, it's definitely a different programming style for the GH V4s and the threes. You know, like the Profis, you know, you have to do the upload and the programming to with the styles and stuff,
Sound menu.
and the GH V3s and I think the fours are mostly you can do a lot of the effects and the programming within the hilt and load the sound
Yeah.
font files on there. So it's very similar. Profi is a little bit more, you know, a little bit more of a learning curve.
I think this is the gigawatt, if I'm sure. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, dude. Oh, dang. I want to blind myself.
that's a bright blade, man. That's pretty
Oh,
nice.
man. Yeah, I mean, I think because at times it didn't work, but I think it was the pins that were kind of messed up. And so I
Gotcha.
kind of cleaned them out a little bit with some isopropyl
Oh, good.
alcohol.
Yeah,
And
that's great.
I think there was I think there was probably a little bit of dirt in there that kind of interfered with this blade. But yeah, man, that's just crazy. Look at that, man. The aura on this thing is crazy, dude.
It really is nice. Yeah.
The Back to the Future. Well, John, go to Mountain Sabers and look for the gigawatt font, dude. I tell you what, it's freaking awesome, dude.
And when you go on the site, by the way, you get to you get to see every single font in action. Not only do you hear it, but you also see it too. And some of the fonts will incorporate blade styles for most likely Profi and stuff like that. Because that was the at the time that was the board of choice for doing blade styles and stuff. But GHV3 and CFX and all those guys, they make blade making really easy within the hilt. I mean, you can do a lot of changes within there.
Let's see if I can get. Oh, dude,
Oh yeah.
dude, that is just, dude. Dude, the lockup is crazy, dude. That is just sick, man. Oh wow.
Choose color profile.
No, well, let's see.
Whoops. Oh yeah.
Let's kind of look at. Let's see what kind of color or kind of. Let's see.
I usually do the
Ooh.
I usually do that color because that's like the
Oh man. Oh. Now the color and the sun font really come together, dude. Look at that. That is crazy. Okay, I'm trying to initiate some of the. Oh, look at the buttons too, dude.
Yeah, I like them, man.
That's crazy.
Super cool. Yeah,
Okay.
KB Production says, I'm excited to start learning CFX and GH3. Absolutely, man. These
Oh
guys
yeah.
are working. They're working overtime to get their products, so that everybody can enjoy them. I mean, Tristan's been working on the Blade Creator and all that stuff on his website, so you got to check that out. And then the GHV4, those guys have been working overtime to get that board out. So, man, a lot of praise goes out to those guys for really doing the overtime work.
And the CFX is really good, man. You know, one of the things that I really love about the Golden Harvest board and the CFX is they're almost not quite, but almost similar. Okay, in terms of putting on sound fonts.
Yeah,
There's just a slight variation between the two, and
that's right.
you know the fonts work coincide both of them together. I mean, what you can put on Golden Harvest, you can put on CFX. It doesn't matter, and that's one of the things that I love about that kind of customization is that the ease of it is just the
Yep.
simplicity of having both like that intertwined together with sound fonts. Um,
CFX is a
you know,
very, very smooth board, man. I mean, it's super smooth. I mean, if you've ever seen flames and fires and all that stuff on a CFX, it's very smooth. It's beautiful. They really did a great job. I mean, a lot of these, like I said, they're very almost not identical, but they have their own characteristics and their traits, and for that, they get a lot of praise from me. That's for sure.
hmm Oh
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that I kind of like, and I have not done a Profi, so I don't know everything about it at all, hardly at all. I have a Profi
Yeah.
1.5. I haven't even wired up yet. I've got part of the way. it's
Oh wow,
it's in here.
1.5, no doubt, man. That's so bad.
It's all right in here, man. And
Well, they've come a long
and then
way,
I
man.
yeah. And so I think the Profi 1.5 I might put in my Vader hilt.
Oh,
Uh,
that's a nice one to do.
because the Vader hilt, it's hold on a second. Okay, let's do this real quick.
Mm,
Let's do the Avenger one, and then
I
I'll
love my
grab
Avenger.
the Vader hilt. Uh, let's see here. Yeah. Of course,
Yeah,
probably needs to be a red blade, or
yeah, it's red.
maybe
It,
yeah.
it's a Sith color. It's a Sith sound font, so it would be red. Yeah, I made it so that it would be a Sith red. Very cool though. I love my ignition. I love my ignition. I think it's so fun.
Select mode. Save and leave save effect. Adjust your control. Retraction ignition. Retract ignition. Pixel num color profile. Choose color profile.
Ooh. Okay. It's okay. Here we go.
Back in Saber Editor. Select mode. Save and leave Saber Editor.
Dude, you can see I got a man. I'm already hurting from smiling so much,
So am
dude.
I, man. I'm hurting because you're hurting, man. That's so great. I love to see your face just light up like that. See, that's what makes it all worthwhile, man. It just makes it all worthwhile.
That's unique.
Yeah, so you can also adjust your settings for your swing thresholds so that it would flow better because actually GHV3 has that little spot in there where you can either get more or less out of it, and that really makes a difference in the sound font, by the way.
Yeah, and I think that's what I need to do. I think
Yeah.
there are some of these fonts that I need to do that with,
Yeah.
especially if, with them being so low on the swings and stuff, and
Yeah.
and having them come out a little quicker. See, I haven't really messed with any of that stuff because I haven't
Right.
had much time to really work on stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I've been going to the manual and kind of looking at more stuff in the manual and checking out some videos on stuff like that as well, right?
Yep. Yep, SaberTech has got great videos, man, on their website. I mean, on the YouTube channels too. They give you
Oh, that's wicked.
all the top notch selections on there.
Oh, dude, that is wicked. Oh, I love that blaster, dude.
And this the idea behind the Avenger is it's a made up character that I made. You'll see the video if you go to my website. You see the sound font. You see the sound font video, but it's just a character that I had just come up with, you know.
Look at that, Jesus, man.
Oh yeah,
dude. Oh man. I'm gonna be playing with this for hours. Oh my god, my wife is gonna hate me. My wife is gonna hate me.
I even got it on this too, I think, right? Let me see. This is my Luke one, but yeah, I don't know which one. I think it comes out of here. See, but you see the difference between yours and yours and mine might be a little different because this is a Profi board in here, but you can tell that you'll have the same adjustment in your settings to get the swings a little bit more vibrant because it might be back in the text configuration. But once you set that's exactly. So it's pretty cool.
and then and to be honest with you, that's one of the things I really haven't learned very much is to mess with settings. And I think I pretty much understand that when to get the most out of something, you have to work with some of the settings and adjust things accordingly, right? Because what somebody sees on some of these videos, they don't know that there are certain settings that have to be set in order to get to that kind of level, right?
Yeah. What I do though, just to let everybody know, is I just put sometimes to be honest with you, I will go the extra mile and I will set up that text configuration according to how I feel that the font should go. Other times, I will just put a standard text file in there, and the reason why I do that is because I want them to have their own feel, because everybody has their own feel on how they do things, their clash threshold, their swing abilities, all that stuff. So so that's why I basically put, I mean, I know people just sometimes want to hear it exactly like this, and if they want to hear it come out like this, hey, give me an email or text me or something. I will definitely create the text file for that, if somebody wants it like on the side or an extra one. So I wouldn't have a problem, creating something if somebody wanted that. So
wow.
That's pretty, but it's mostly standard though.
Mm-hmm.
Except for the blade styles, like on Profi, you said, what was that text file in there? Well, that text file was for the Profi because all my packages are supplied with all the boards that I basically use on a day-to-day basis. So but the styles for the Profi are in there. So all you have to do is copy and paste it and you're done. And then you program the board. So
that's going to be awesome when I put the Profi on, man. I'm like, oh
yeah,
my
man,
God.
it's going to be nice. Now 1.5, I'm thinking that it might work fairly well with some of the new styles. It is an older board, but I'm pretty sure that it would probably configure the same way. But I haven't tried the 1.5. I haven't tried a 1.5. But I'm sure that somebody out there will probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it would respond probably pretty similar. We're talking OS, I don't even know, OS 3 or OS 4, way back then to put that on there. Now it's OS 7. So but I would like to assume that the styles and stuff from the new library would be
Mhm.
okay with it. You know,
Well, see, I'm not
I
too
could be
worried
wrong.
about it. I'm
Yeah.
not too worried about it because this is a very old hilt. It is an '03, an
Oh
'03.
yeah,
Can you believe that?
beautiful
Right?
man. Yeah.
Uh, MR. It's Master Replicas '03,
Okay.
right? And here is the chassis I actually started on for it. Now,
Okay.
almost all of the parts are from TCSS,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh man, is that metal stuff? Is that metal?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's mostly metal. Yeah, that's the. I love that. Yeah.
mostly metal. So I painted I spray painted the chassis here, right?
Okay.
Um I don't even remember what speaker I've got on there, whether it's the Amazon or if it's something else. Of course, you got, the actual crystal in there, just like that.
Yeah,
Now
that's nice,
I
man.
still have to put the LED up down in here, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Um, and then later on I'll secure. I've got a little wire mesh thing going around here that's going to cover that up a little bit later on too.
That's so cool, man.
Um, and so I've got to figure out later on how to. I'm going to cut these off and sand them down so that it kind of stays uh, at a certain way. But if I don't put the LED down here, I might put it up on top of here and get it kind of tricked out with a little way where it won't be so obvious that it's an LED and stuff like that. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
things I still need to figure out on
Yep.
how I'm going to do things, but for the most part,
That's so cool, man.
most of it's already done. And
Nice.
um, I actually need to find a few other screws on here for this, but uh, I had to figure out how to put the blade holder in here from
Yep.
TCSS,
The
right?
conversion. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Without really drilling too much of anything on there.
Yeah.
And so what I did, and you're gonna trip out on this because this is a little crazy right here, but my actual blade holder on here is really not the blade holder until I figure something out. But I was trying this part, the blade holder here was is utilizing for the actual blade holder.
Nice.
So I'm
That's
so
great.
I'm thinking I got to figure other things out on how to and then to find the button. I'm missing the button part right here for it.
Oh, okay.
So I've got it somewhere. I just need to find it. I've got it somewhere. But I'm also
Okay.
missing a couple of these little uh
The
T
grips.
T tracks. Yeah.
Yeah, the grips.
And
Yeah.
I don't know where those are, so I've got to find those before I can actually finish everything up. So
Nice.
like yeah, there's a lot of work involved with it. And I watched quite a few videos on how to gut this thing and also to do certain things, but I'm
Sweet.
what, how can I do this without having to really do that much drilling onto it, you know? I
Yeah.
don't want to drill too much on it. Now
I
this
think we
this
all get to
part,
that point though, you know? I think we all want to like
yeah,
I try and focus on that's a really good point too, because you don't want to ruin the look of the saber. Plus you don't want to have a whole bunch of holes and you want it to look exactly like it was when it came out of the box. And I totally get that. And I appreciate
yeah,
that too.
exactly. And it just it kills me, dude, because I'm like, man, how am I gonna fit it like this and that without really screwing
So
it up?
Chet Osborne just said that it'll if it works on a V2, then it'll work on a V1.5. So no problem,
Oh
man.
yeah.
So that I guarantee. So yeah, anything that you want, like any of the proppy styles that I potentially make, I think it shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, cool. Yeah, for sure,
Or
man. For
anybody else who
sure.
makes the styles for Profi. It shouldn't be a problem, you know, putting it on a 1.5. Hold on, I got to get something. This is cool.
Sure.
Now you want to talk about your master replica? Well, you're gonna wait till you see this thing. This thing is crazy,
Uh-oh.
man. I'm
What
hoping
you
I
got? What
can.
you got?
I'm
Bring it
gonna
on.
try and yeah, I gotta see if I can get it. I gotta see if I can find my Allen now. Hold on, because you want to talk about old chassis and an older hilt. I think this is working though, so let me see if this will work. I'm getting it. I want to just get it set up before I pull it apart and make a fool of myself that it didn't work. Okay, I got it. So, this was my first Kylo Ren. This is the Force Effects Kylo Ren, man.
Oh, snap.
So, what I did with,
A
man,
Force
this has
Effects?
been through, yeah, this is a original Force Effects that I have done so many mods to and so much work to. I mean, it's crazy, man. I mean, I even went as far as doing the old school gluing on the blade. I mean, this is a
I
long time
remember
ago,
that.
man.
I remember that, dude. That was
It's
like
on my YouTube
shortly.
channel. Yeah.
Uh, that was shortly right after I think I saw Meg to kind of do that as
Yeah.
well on his channel,
So,
and
so what I
that was
did,
like,
yeah, this what I did was I kind of modded this whole thing out because you know you pretty much I pulled it up here, so I made the cover come
mhm.
off, boop, and then inside I have my kill key, my kill switch, and then my button is
Wow,
up here, my little button.
what?
So here it is, and then I have a crystal chamber going on in there. So
Oh,
you
that's
wouldn't see
crazy,
that.
dude.
Yeah, you wouldn't see that if the cover was on it, you know, because the cover's on it, right? You think it's just a chamber,
Right.
so you pop it off, and there it is. But I totally gutted this thing, and let's see if I can get it out without breaking it, because it's been a while. I hope I. It's been a while. It's gonna come out? I don't know. Wow, I'm surprised that it's not coming out. It must be caught on something because I haven't taken this thing apart in like a long time.
In
Let me
years.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I
Yeah,
know.
this thing has been hanging on my wall for years. But I really want to just show you the chassis because it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's almost similar to yours with the rods and stuff. Why
Uh-huh.
is this thing not coming out? That's pretty bad. I think I'm gonna have to investigate that. Well, anyway, I don't know why it's not coming out, but you could start to see the framework and all the wiring and all that stuff. This sucks. I don't know why it's not coming out because it always used to come out freely, but it might have expanded in there or something. It's so old that you know I just kind of left it and hung it upside down, but it's I got
Right.
all the wire frame in there. It's got I 3D printed everything in there, and then I did the 40 rod in there, and it just comes all the way out to here, and it's pretty cool, man. It's a wild little
Wow.
saber.
That
Yeah,
is
but
crazy cool. That is crazy
unfortunate that I
cool,
couldn't
dude.
get it all out. I don't know why that's not coming out. Oh, I got it. I got it. Oh, it was the I guess a plastic part broke out of it. Here it is. Check that out. The little wire frame. Look at that thing. This is all old school, man.
Man.
Right. Look at all, and there's the
I,
kill. That's the kill key in there, and then the Profi board. This
wow.
is a 2.2 in there, and then I just had it all taped up because it started to break and dry out because the 3D printing didn't last that long. You know,
Yeah.
at the time, this is when I, you know, first started doing that 3D printing stuff, and then the plastic, I guess, is very much improved now. So, but then I made a
Mm-hmm.
speaker pod, so I got a Smokers Outpost speaker in there, and just a hardwired battery in there. So it's pretty cool though, man. And I use this for my setup. I have actually a video on one of my channels there that, you know, it's me in the costume, and I have my helmet and everything, and I use this for an actual Halloween little show that I did a long time ago, which I don't have on film, unfortunately. But I just did a little presentation. I recorded a little skit, you know, with his voice and everything, and then I swung the saber around and I do all his moves. And this was that saber that I did it with. It's pretty cool.
Oh,
But right,
speaking of the
that's the
Halloween,
enjoyment, right?
yeah. Well, people enjoyed the Halloween font that I got from you over there at work during the
Oh,
Halloween,
Halloween
man.
beam, yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
they really enjoyed it,
yeah, that's
especially
the
when
free
I
one.
especially when I put on I had a couple of guys that were werewolves for the Halloween, and when
Oh
I put
yeah.
the Halloween, when I put the werewolf on, they're like, "Oh!" their their faces lit up, man. It was cool.
Oh yeah.
It was
That's a
really
great
cool.
font. I love that, man. You know, what a way to what a way to treat the holiday with a cool font like that, and get it for nothing. Because you know, I know a lot of people don't have it, you know, sometimes, and I do offer a couple of free ones on there, and eventually I'll probably do that again because I think it's a lot of fun, you know, just to create something and have
Oh
somebody enjoy
yeah.
it. Oh, and
Well,
the Daft Punk font is on there, and that's a free one, you know, because it's actually like a
I
gameplay kind of font.
is it? I haven't checked it out yet because I haven't
Oh,
gone
check
through
it out. It's
everything
fun.
yet. So.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's like a certain font. So like when you play it, it's doing music and stuff like that. But when you clash it, and if you get it just right, it'll blend and mix and mesh and do kinds of weird things, you know. So if like if you like
That's the
into
best.
dance and strobes, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Dancing. It'd be like the dancing queen.
Yeah. Well, it's like Daft Punk, so I don't know if that would be it. He's pretty cool though. And I got all my guys back here. I don't know if you saw all my guys back here. I printed like a whole bunch of different ships, and I've got my blasters, and I've got my helmet. There's my
I still
beautiful
have
Vader
yet.
helmet. Yeah.
Wow, dude. I want to do a blaster, and as a matter of fact, I want to do a Mando blaster, dude. And I
This
think I
is my pride
saw.
and joy right here, man. My Vader helmet. This is my
Oh,
pride and joy. This one is so awesome, man. I love this guy. And he has
you know,
very,
I've
very
been.
he's got very, very special lenses um from Germany that are crystal clear, and they're red, and you can
Oh,
see everything through them, even in the dark,
wow,
which
wow.
I really loved. Yeah. But he's one of my favorites, man. Yeah, that's why I keep him up there. I have the
Is
whole
your
suit. I have the whole suit. I have the whole Vader suit. I did a actual. See, I love Halloween too, and I think playing
Mhm,
skits in Halloween is a lot of fun. So I actually did it for a you know, the maze, when the kids go through the maze and stuff like that.
mhm.
Well, we had a maze here where I live, and they gave me a whole big section. So what I did was I came out like Vader. I had the blade, and I had the vocal.
Oh,
I had the voice module and everything, and I started going, "Use the Force," you know, and all that, and it really came out. And these kids, they didn't know where to go, man. They were just like, "Oh!" It was so much fun. Yeah, that was the best time
dude,
I
that
had.
is awesome.
Yeah, that
That
was
is
a lot of fun.
that is great, man. See, and that to me, I think to me, that reinforces a child's, imagination, especially if
Absolutely.
they're into Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
And let's say their father takes them to go watch Star Wars, and here you come into a Vader suit. They're like, "Oh my God!" It's like nothing. It'd be like Christmas time in June, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, to be honest with you, I took it one step further, and I didn't go out like, you know, we were talking about. I didn't go out and buy a whole bunch of parts. I made the parts. Like, here's his belt. Look at all the
See?
stuff that I made.
Uh-huh.
See, these are his belt parts, and these all lit up with double A batteries. Look at them, double C batteries. Look at that.
Wow.
I made the belt parts. I made all of that. This all lights up and has real grill and all that stuff. So I put these boxes together because I didn't want to just buy everything. I wanted to build part of the suit myself. So I made that. I
Yeah.
made the belt buckle. I made all of that. This is real metal. I made all of that. So, and I was really in tune to making things. Like I said, you know, I love building and making things. So that was a lot of
Hmm.
fun.
Dang.
But yeah.
Have you seen the Vader animation deal from Home Depot for Halloween and Christmas?
No, no. I haven't seen it.
Home Depot sells Vader, Stormtrooper, and Yoda animatronics
Oh, the
stuff.
statues.
Yeah, they're like
Oh,
you put them in, they're like 230 something dollars, I think, or about 300 bucks somewhere around there. The Vader one, I think, is like 7 foot tall, something like that.
damn! Wow.
Yeah, and he lights up. He moves the saber around a little bit. He's got some of the his quotes on there, and
Oh
you
wow.
can enter. And he's either holding a pumpkin for Thanksgiving, or he's holding a Christmas ornament for Christmas, right?
Wow.
Um, and I don't know what the Yoda one does, but I'm looking into those. But man, they're
Those are
I've
really
got to
cool.
save a whole. I got to save a whole year to try to get one.
So this one, when I didn't have my 3D printers up and running, because my you know I was investing in them at the time. So Solo Sabers, did me a great favor, and he printed this guy out, and I finished him. And this is from
Oh wow!
from the cartoon ones, the Vader.
Yeah, yeah, the Rebel
So
series.
the Rebel series, yep. And that's the one that I've
Yeah.
always wanted to have, was this helmet, and he really did me justice, and he printed this out for me, and I couldn't thank him enough for it. So I finished it up. I painted it. I put the eyes in it. These are very special eyes. These are something I made that nobody's really even going to know what I made them out of. But when you see them in the
Wow.
pictures, I have a whole bunch on my site. But this is another one of my favorites, and I just think he's so
Yeah,
cool.
Jeremy has done some amazing stuff on his
Oh
hilts
yeah.
too, man. Oh, have you seen some of his stuff lately?
I have not, but I would love to. I mean,
Oh,
I'm maybe
oh,
he can get in touch with me on Facebook. I'd love to do that. I'd love to check it out, and he could send me
oh
links
my
and stuff.
God.
It'd be great. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
mean
loving
he's
seeing
got
new stuff.
his videos on YouTube, especially the Scrap Tech that they
Oh,
just came
okay.
out with. The Scrap Tech that he just came out with, and there's another one that Benji and Jawas Junkyard came out with too.
Oh, I saw that
Man,
one. Yeah, I saw those. They're amazing.
oh,
Yeah,
dude.
man. Yeah.
I'm like, man, I tell you, I told my wife one of these days, I said, you know what? I might have to sell my truck one of these days to get these damn things. Just to have one, man.
I know it.
My
I know it,
gosh.
man. Like the Raxus and
But
all that stuff. Those Raxus are really nice,
oh,
man. Those are beautiful. Yeah. They
yeah, the
did a wonderful
Raxes,
job on
dude.
this stuff. Yeah, really, really nice
Ev-
ones too.
Eventually, they're gonna end up in my collection because, like, right now,
Got to,
yeah.
man. Yeah.
But eventually, they will be in my collection. I think once I start installing and selling a few, I can actually start purchasing some of these, hilts that I want and stuff. But I'm
Yeah.
hoping for Christmas. I'm hoping for Christmas that I can get enough money, and I've been after for 2 years already, is the KR's Acolyte Saber.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So so that's going to be my next purchase right there, which will be the Acolyte Saber from KR. And then eventually I'll want a cross guard from there too as well. Dude, look at that. Ah, wow.
All printed, man. I printed, painted. I love this thing, man. It's the sickest
It
thing in the
looks
world.
great. It looks sick.
I love this thing, man. Look at the color. I mean, I matched this color like hopefully
Oh, that
almost
is so
almost
sick,
great.
dude.
Yeah.
That
I got
is
it really
sick.
nice and tight in there, man. Yeah. I really, he was, I have to be honest, he was my favorite character in the whole entire thing. I don't care. I loved what he represented. I really loved this character, and I loved that helmet, and I had to do it. I just had to print it out. And I got
I have
I
to
got the gauntlet. I have everything, and I even made the 3D printed saber with the two halves. So I lock them together.
Mhm.
So I have the whole thing that just locks together, and this is actually functional both ways, man. So you can unlock
Really?
it.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I have
Uh-huh.
my blade plugs, and they both light up and both have proppies in them. Yeah, and
Oh,
speakers.
sweet.
Yeah, and it's
I
3D
think
printed.
out
It's
of
not
that whole
metal. Yeah.
series, I think out of that whole series, he's the only
Yeah.
character they didn't make stupid. You know?
They made him very mysterious, and yeah, because he was on a totally different path, man. He's on a path of clarity, and that's what I feel that's what he represented, was clarity in his own mind, because
But he
the
wasn't a fake
dark.
character. He wasn't being real fake. I mean,
No,
he had an
no, no.
he had an agenda. He had an agenda.
Yeah,
But all,
yeah.
all, all the rest of the characters, they really made him kind of stupid because I mean, uh, the I don't know. It irritated me on some of these characters, the way they portrayed them because they could have been so much
Mm.
better. You know.
Yeah, it's all about the writing and stuff like that. I mean, some of it was, I have to be honest, some of it was really cool. Some of the fights were really cool. I enjoyed them. It was pretty a lot
Yeah.
action packed, and things like that. But then, it started to go a little bit the other way and started to do some things that, a lot of people didn't really care for, and I can sympathize with that. But I mean, he was one of my favorite characters, so I decided
Yeah.
to just keep
I
that
just
on
think
the.
they rushed it. I think they rushed it. That's all it was, is they rushed it.
Yeah. Well, they just didn't
And
really have enough knowledge, and support
mhm,
to really get to where it really could have been. You know what I mean? They had a lot of great
yeah.
actors. Don't get me wrong, the actors were pretty good, but it's just the storyline was,
Mhm,
just, it wasn't really what we thought it would be. I mean, according to all the other
right.
stuff like Legends and all that, and there was just a lot
Mhm,
missing. So, I think that's what frustrated a lot of people, and but anyway, like I said, it had some good parts, had some good times, and I'm
there you
really
go.
waiting for Obi-Wan
I
Kenobi too, man. That's what I want.
right. Ah,
I
I
want
can't wait for
that.
that to come out.
I want that. I want more Vader. I want more Obi-Wan. I want that storyline, man. There is so much more to tell. I mean,
There
it's
is.
like I'm salivating just thinking about it, because I know that could be an incredible part two. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Just it goes a lot
Hmm.
deeper, you know. So cool.
Oh yeah. So I think next week, I know next week I'm gonna be hunting, but I think I'm gonna try to do the show at the ranch. Well, I don't
That's
know
pretty
yet. I
cool.
might. I might. It depends, because if I do the evening hunt, I'll be in the blind till 6 o'clock, and then if I do the show, I'll be coming home late, depending if I have to work. Uh, I don't know. So we'll see. But the next show that I do want to do, I want to talk about tutorials, YouTube tutorials, simply because there's a lot of tutorials out there, but um, for those people who watch the tutorials, what are they going to get out of those tutorials? You know what I mean? What are they looking for? How do they go about doing this? How do they go about doing that? So I think that's an interesting topic, that where do they start when they want to research certain things? For those people who just kind of don't know how to get going on certain things, I think we can start
Yeah.
right there
Well,
for the
you also were
newbies.
talking about being a visual learner, and I know
Mhm.
for a fact that a lot of people are doing more visual learning now than they are doing besides reading. And I mean, I'm not saying that nobody reads, but I think they get the gist of it faster, quicker, and easier if you see it, and it's right in
Mhm.
front of your face. Like, I know for me, like, to learn a couple of things, oh well, how do I do the gesture controls like on a GHV3, or how do I get the buttons, to work and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go to YouTube and I'm gonna go check it out and see what tutorials are out there that's gonna teach me the best. And that'd be a great topic.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think so too. And that was something I've been thinking about for a little while. And,
Yeah.
just to kind of introduce the new people that are coming into the hobby about that, and you
By the
know,
way, my books are right there. You see my books? See those books? Those are you, man. I've been reading them. I have been reading them. That was the
mine
best
are
thing you
right
could
here.
ever told me to get, man. I was like, oh, they are amazing. The
Aren't
photos
they?
and the stories, and I didn't know what I was missing. Really.
Oh my God, I'm telling you, man, I can't.
So thank you. I really appreciate that, man.
Oh, you're welcome anytime, dude, anytime.
Yeah.
And in you know, there's certain books that I do tend to get, and I haven't even gotten hardly. I really don't get a whole lot of books, you know, a lot of books at a lot of times. And I tell you though, the photos in there are just stunning, and especially with the saber ones.
Oh
The
yeah.
close up,
Oh yeah.
the close up of Obi ones with the crystal section is just like, my God, that to me is just like a diamond in the, I mean, just staring at you in the
Oh
face.
yeah. You betcha. I love crystals, man. I love chambers. I love the stuff. You know, we don't see enough of crystal chamber bleeding except for that one time in the Acolyte. And I don't really, you know, that really, to me, be honest with you, wasn't the way that I would portray a crystal bleeding. You know, I thought there were other ways of doing it, as
Mhm.
far as the books are concerned and stuff. But that would be something that I'd love to see, either even a fan film for that matter, doing something. In fact, I may even do it because I'm planning on doing a fan film, and I'm just another one. I did a couple, but they were very
Mhm.
low budget, low quality stuff that I just did for fun, and I just did a couple of minutes of it. But I have something coming up that I'm really going to do, and um, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping to do it maybe started in the spring because now it's really cold. Unless I do it in the winter when it snows, and that would be awesome because I love to do film projects in the snow. You know. Um,
That's gonna be great. And I
yeah.
and I,
Hey,
I like a lot of fan films.
you want to know how into I am in Star Wars? And I think we could probably show this, but
Oh, dude. Is
this
that?
is the this is the album, the 30 to
Oh,
33. This is the original album when it came out for Star Wars. And I have
oh,
it, and I
wow,
saved it. I got this when I was a kid when I first saw Star Wars.
whoa,
And not
oh
only
my
does it have Star
God.
Wars on it, it has the theme from 2001: Space Odyssey. What a combination! Yeah, it's pretty damn cool.
Wow,
Yep. And you remember the comic books? Here's the original comic book, the big old fat comic
yeah,
books. You know.
wow.
So I kept all
I
these when I was a
saw,
kid, man.
wow.
Yeah, so I love
I
it.
saw, I
I've
saw,
been
I
into it
saw
for a long
one.
time.
I saw one of those old first comics, and I almost picked it up, and
Yeah,
but I did. I something else caught my eye, and I didn't. And I went back later on to try to go pick it up, and I didn't. Right. But one of the things I saw, it was in pretty bad shape. It wasn't, worth anything really, but it would be worth for the just the nostalgic of it, right?
yeah,
But but I was like, 'cause when I went to go back and get, I had just missed it by 5 minutes. I was like, oh, you kidding?
yep,
Then the
yeah.
guy's all
This
like,
is a,
nope.
this is definitely the OG album right there, man. And I actually have a small little player that I play it on every once in a while. It's kind of cool. Then for my display box, I bought these little cards. So I put this in a little box, and when I light this thing up, like when I put this shelf on bright back here, I don't know if you can hear it. I
No,
don't know where the
no.
mic is on this thing.
Oh, there it is. Wait, you almost had. I heard a little something when you picked it up a
Oh,
little higher.
oh, higher. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's here. Does it? My ear set does it? I don't know. Anyway, it plays a Star Wars theme and it plays a couple other tracks. And I put this in a little box,
Oh,
and it,
there it
it
goes.
plays while this stuff goes. Yeah. So it's
Oh
kind of
wow.
cool, you know. Yeah, I'm just into like these little crazy knick-knack things, you know. So it's just a little module in here, and you can just download like up to like 16 megabytes worth of soundtracks on it, you know. So,
You
and
know,
it's
I have the
totally
Star
free,
Wars
you know.
theme. I have the Star Wars theme for my phone ringer. Yeah.
Oh, you do? That's so cool, man. That's my
Yep. I
favorite
have this,
Christmas icon.
and for my front page, well, my background on my phone, I have Annie and Obi fighting each other
Nice,
with this with the sabers.
nice. I love
Yeah.
that, man. That's so iconic, man. It's such an iconic scene. It's just incredible.
Oh yeah. And I
Oh,
switch them out too because there's one that I have with Yoda. You know, Yoda sitting standing on the rock with his saber like this and his hand like that.
oh yeah.
It's kind of so I switch them out every now and then, but yeah. And on my laptop, um I've got the background page that's got like all the ships around and everything like that.
Nice,
Um I
nice.
had the Millennium Falcon one, and I think I changed it out. Let me see. I changed it out to, and I've got quite a few. Oh yeah, see, because like my I've got the Death Star right here with all the X-wings and the TIE fighters, all that fight going around with the Death Star, right? So
Oh,
if you
those are
could
cool,
picture
man.
that, that's on my
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
And let's see here. And then uh and then when I open up my laptop, I've got the Millennium Falcon, I've got the X-Wings all right above the big old ship. Vader's ship.
Oh,
Not his
okay.
TIE fighter, but the other one.
The Carillion,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
These are
the
so cool,
Corellian
man. It's so
ships.
much fun to do all this, man, you know. And then I remember and then I guess it's oh, the VR games. Remember this one? I made the
Oh
stand
yeah.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made the stand out of sand, and this is all PLA back here, but I covered it with sand, so it would look like it's a Vader Immortal. It's the Immortal games, for the VR, for the
Oh
Oculus
yeah.
and all that stuff. I saw this, man, and then guess who makes this? Jawa's Junkyard made this, and I had to have it. So I said, "Oh
I
man, are
saw
you
that.
making that?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm making it," and I'm like, "I'm buying it." So, and this thing is
Yeah.
just beautiful. So I keep this
I
on
want
my
to get the
shelf.
Dagon Gera. I want to get the
I
Dagon
have
Gera
it.
hill.
I have it. It's great. It is super heavy. Like it's heavy.
Oh,
It's the heaviest saber I've ever had in my life. But it's so badass, man. It really is. It's so great. You
I want
got
to
to get
get that one. I want to
Yep.
get that one and the
Yep.
Crate Slayer.
Yep. And then you can get my font because I've got the font.
Oh, for sure, man.
I had to do it. If I got the saber, I had to make the font too. So I did it, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one of the hills I definitely want to get, man.
You
I'm just
definitely
hoping
should get it, man. It's so cool. And I make the stand too, so let me know because
it'll go up here.
yeah, it's a really great stand, and it'll hold the duel if you decide to get the duel because he had the dual saber. It'll hold the duel too, which is really neato. But let me know if you get it, man, and I'm gonna toss it to you because I think you deserve it. It's so cool, man. You're gonna love it.
That'd be cool, man. It might
Oh,
be a
you
while
bet,
before I
man.
get that hilt, but yeah,
That's all
I'll
right.
let you know for sure.
It's all right. Oh yeah, but I'll have you. I got you. I got you.
Got to concentrate on getting a new vehicle.
Oh, all
But I'm
right.
waiting.
All right.
Yeah, that's got to be first before anything else. But like I said,
All right.
well,
Yeah. Well, you got to get there,
except
right?
yeah, I'm just hoping my truck will last for another whole year, and then we'll see what happens.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. You'll be fine.
All right, man.
You know.
Well, let's
All
go
right,
ahead and
man.
we're gonna start wrapping this up. And those are
Got it.
some great fonts, man.
Thank you.
I just got to tweak them a little bit and make them even that
Yeah.
much better. And I'll get a hold of you so we can work on that
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
get them tweaked out. Um,
Yeah.
and all of that good stuff. So,
Yeah, so check me
uh,
out if you guys want the font. It's mountainsabersfonts.com, and you can go there and you know check out the site. I got a whole bunch of things. Also got 2 saber stands left. Get them before Christmas.
get them, guys, get them. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And so for everybody who's joined us here tonight, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I really love all of you guys. Without
Thank
you
you.
guys
Thank you.
being
Thank you.
here,
Thank you for
it
letting
just
me come
wouldn't
back,
be.
man. That was really great, man. I appreciate it. I love
Oh,
this show. It's so much fun and we have such a great time.
absolutely. I missed you too, man. I'm glad you're feeling so much better, dude.
Yeah,
I am.
that was a trip, man. Maybe I'll talk about that another time, but yeah, that was I might not have been here if I didn't get all that stuff taken out. So it's doing
God puts
very
us where
well
we
though.
need to be, dude.
You're right. You're right.
So I tell you, I mean, like I said, God puts us where we need to be, and this is where we need to be together right now.
Yeah, we
And
do, man.
and I tell you, that's why we have Saber Talk Sunday, dude. And I invite everybody out there, newbies, veterans. I mean, you want to come on the show, hit me up, man. There's some, if there's some fun stuff that you want to talk about, maybe you want to talk about a new hilt you're working on. If you're working on a new font, hit me up. Let's talk about it. Come on to the show, man. That's why it's called Saber Talk Sunday. So I encourage and invite all of you to come on, sit at the table, have a drink, have a beer, have whatever you drink. I don't care. You
Oh
can drink
yeah.
milk for all I care, man.
Well,
You know,
for me it's water for a while because of, the things that happen, but
it,
it's
it
it's a
doesn't
learning
matter.
experience for sure. It doesn't matter. Yeah. And thank you, Chet. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm glad to still be here myself, man, because it's definitely a wake up call. So so now it gives me an opportunity to keep doing what I enjoy now. So I'm gonna
Exactly.
keep everything going. So I appreciate it.
Oh yeah. And for all you newbies out there, make sure that you like and subscribe to Space Windu. Check out Civilized Sabers because without Civilized Sabers, Saber Talk Sunday would not be possible. And
Yes.
if you do not know, and you have not checked out the beginning of Saber Talk, with Anthony and Gabe and Harris. Harris, has gone and left us, to a greater calling up in the sky. But his legacy lives on with Saber Talk, and without these 3 guys, Saber Talk Sunday would not be possible. So I encourage you guys to go back and watch the earlier parts of the show on the 3 amigos that started Saber Talk. um, and and Anthony, for him to turn over the reins to me to run the show is just a blessing in disguise. And again, so I encourage y'all to make sure like and subscribe to Civilized Sabers, to Anthony Space Windu, okay, James at Mountain Sabers, and if you are also looking at different content and stuff like that, Collectors Outpost with John, and all of the font makers out there, go visit their websites. There are so many that I can mention, but I tell you what, do a little homework yourself and have fun doing that. Research
Yeah.
everything and have the fun doing it, because that is half the
Show them the
fun.
love, man. Show them the love and
Yeah.
keep that community strong, man. Do us and you guys a favor by checking everybody out and keeping the community strong. That's how we're going to do this. That's how we're going to do it.
Yes. Also, one other thing is that I also, what you see here on Civilized Sabers, my show also records onto my channel from Instagram, at Mundo Cabrera 7007. Okay. So if you miss anything here, or let's say you can't find a specific show here, I'm pretty sure you can find it over there. All right. there are certain shows that I think that are missing from here that could be over there. So, uh, especially the one we did where we got dinged, man. But it's on
Oh
that. It's
yeah,
on my.
yeah. That's all
It's
right.
on my channel.
You know,
It,
there's so many great stories and so many great shows, man, that you're never gonna miss it. So it's
oh
awesome.
yeah. And the funny thing is, I actually downloaded it and kept it with the on my laptop because
Oh, good.
I
All
felt
right.
that
Yeah.
that was such a special show. So
Yeah, it was
that
really,
one I'm
really
gonna have
great.
forever.
Yeah, we gotta
Okay,
definitely
guys.
do we gotta do lot more. We gotta do a lot more collabs and a lot more. Maybe we can get a lot more people on here. We can have one big powwow of everything, man, like we did last time. That was so cool, man.
Oh yeah. Killstar said he'd be down for coming on.
Oh, dude,
So
let's do that.
I need to see when he's able to, and I think the
Yeah.
next show, uh, when he's able to, I think we're gonna do that. So if you want to be up on that, we'll add Killstar to
Oh,
the show,
definitely,
and
man.
we'll do that one. And if Reese decides he wants to come in, Reese has abilities to come in anytime he wants, and so does
Oh,
Space.
that'd be
So
super.
we never know when they could show up. They could show up at any time on the show, man, depending on
That's
how
awesome.
busy they are. Yeah. So you never know what can happen with the show. So keep an eye out for that, guys. You never know when they're gonna pop up.
That's
And
right.
I tell you, the more the merrier. Oh, Jim, your phone died. I'm sorry, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, I better get off before I die before wife kills me.
Well, thank you again. Mundo, God bless.
Okay,
Man.
guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna brand out here. Hold on, let's see if I can get to the outro.
Peace, everybody. See ya.
All right, man. Laters. Thank you so much.
Later, later.
Let's see. Oh my gosh. Here we go.